Should you start your business alone or should you actually find a co-founder? Today I'm going to help you make one of the critical decisions in your entrepreneurial journey, one that could make or break your business before you even launch. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Confident Alchemist podcast, where bold women take the brave leap to build businesses and lives that they deserve. I'm Debbie. And today I'm going to help you make one of the critical decisions in your entrepreneurial journey, one that could make or break your business before you even launch. Should you start your business alone or should you actually find a co-founder? This decision will impact everything: how fast you can grow, how much control you have, how the profits are split, how decisions are made, and even whether your business survives its first major challenges. Get it right, and you'll have a powerful ally who celebrates your success. Get it wrong, and you can end up in a business divorce court, watching your dream company go flat. Here's what makes this decision tricky. There's no universal right answer. I've seen brilliant partnerships that create billion-dollar companies, and I've seen partnerships between best friends that ended in lawsuits and destroyed friendships. I've seen solo founders build empires, and I've seen others burn out from trying to do everything alone. I chose to build my coaching business as a solo founder, and it was the right decision for me. But I've worked with clients who desperately needed partners, and others who made the mistake of partnering when they actually should have gone solo. Today, I'm going to give you a comprehensive framework for making this decision. We'll explore the real pros and cons of each path, the compatibility factors that matters most, and the questions you need to ask before you actually commit to either way. This isn't about what's easier or harder. Both paths have challenges. This is about what's right for you, your business ideas, your personality, and your goals. Let me start with the solo founder path, because this is what most people default to without considering the implications. As a solo founder, you have complete creative control. Every decision is yours. You can pivot quickly without convincing anyone else. You can work at your own pace, in your own style, according to your own values. All the money your business makes is yours. You don't have to split equity, negotiate profit distributions, or argue about reinvestment versus payouts. Solo founders can move fast. No committee meetings, no consensus building, no waiting for your partner to get back from vacation to make important decisions. In rapidly changing markets, this agility can be a massive competitive advantage. When you're a solo founder, your personal brand and business brand can be perfectly aligned. This is especially powerful for service-based businesses, where you are the product. Your personality, your story, your expertise, it all flows seamlessly into your business identity. Solo entrepreneurship is lonely, really lonely. You're making all the decisions, but you're also carrying all the weight. There's no one to bounce ideas off, no one to share the stress with, no one to pick up the slack when you are having an off day. Unless you're a unicorn, you're going to have skills gaps. Maybe you're brilliant at product development, but terrible at marketing. Maybe you're a sales superstar, but you hate dealing with finances. A solo founder, you're either going to have to learn all skills or hire help for everything. Solo founders have the higher risk of burnout because everything depends on them. If you get sick, the business suffers. If you need a break, revenue stops. Investors often prefer teams over solo founders. They see partnership as a risk mitigation. If one founder leaves, the other one can continue. This doesn't mean that solo founders can't get funding, but it can be more challenging. There's a limit to how much one person can do. Solo founders often hit growth ceilings because they become the bottleneck. Everything has to go through them, and there are only so many hours in a day. Solo founders make sense when you have a clear vision that you're passionate about protecting. When you have most of the skills needed for your business, when you prefer working independently, and when you're building something that aligns closely with your personal brand. Successful solo founders are usually highly self-motivated people, comfortable with uncertainty, good at multiple risks functions, and excellent at building networks of advisors or contractors to fill the gaps. Let's explore the co-founder path. We can be incredibly powerful when done right, but it comes with its own set of challenges. The biggest advantage of having a co-founder is complementary skills. If you are the visionary, they might be the executor. If you are the creator, they might be the analytical partner. If you are the introvert that loves product development, they might be the extrovert who loves sales and marketing. Entrepreneurship is hard, and having somebody to share the emotional and practical journey makes it more sustainable. When you're having a tough day, your co-founder can carry the load. When they are struggling, you can step up. This mutual support can be the difference between giving up and pushing through. Co-founders help keep each other accountable. It's harder to procrastinate when someone else is counting on you. It is harder to make impulsive decisions when you have to explain them to somebody else. This builds accountability, and this leads to better decision making and better execution. Two founders means two networks, more connections, more potential customers, more potential investors, more potential employees. Your combined networks can accelerate growth in ways that would take long for a solo founder. Having a co-founder increases your credibility with customers, investors, and even employees. It signals that your idea is strong enough to attract talented people and that you're not just a solo dreamer, but part of a committed team. Co-founder relationships are like marriages, except you can't just split assets and walk away. You are legally and financially bound together in ways that can become incredibly messy if things do go wrong. Every major decision requires discussion, negotiation, and agreement. This can slow you down, especially when you disagree on important issues. What happens when you want to pivot and they want to stay the course? What happens if you want to bootstrap and they want to raise funding? How do you split equity fairly? 50-50 sounds fair, but what if one person actually contributes more time, money, or expertise? What if roles change over time? These conversations are uncomfortable but critical, and get them wrong, they can destroy partnerships. You might be great friends, but doesn't mean you'll be great business partners. Business partners requires different skills than personal relationships. Aligned vision, complementary work styles, similar risk tolerance, and compatible communication styles. What happens if one founder wants to leave? How do you value their equity? What if they want to start a competing business? What if they become a liability to your company? These scenarios need to be planned for upfront, not figured out when crisis mode. Partnerships make sense when you have significant skill gaps or expensive to hire, when your business requires diverse expertise, when you work well with others, and when you can find someone who truly complements your abilities and share your vision. Successful co-founding partners requires clear communication, aligned values, complementary skills, similar work ethics, and detailed legal agreements that cover all the what-if scenarios. Now let me give you some practical framework for making this decision, because it's too important to leave to gut feeling alone. First, honestly assess your skills. Rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 in these areas: product development, marketing, sales, operations, finance, and leadership. If you have most 7s and above, solo work might work. If you have several areas below 5, you probably need a partner. How clear and passionate are you about your specific vision? If you have a crystal clear vision, that you're deeply passionate about. Solo might be better because you won't have to compromise. If your vision is still evolving, a partner might help you refine and strengthen that vision. Do you work better alone or with others? Some people are energized by collaborations and others are drained by it. Be honest about your natural work style preferences. What's your risk tolerance? Solo founders are higher risk but higher potential reward. Partnerships spread the risk but also dilute the rewards. Which scenario feels more comfortable to you? How strong is your professional network? If you have extensive connections in your industry, solo might work. If your network is limited, a partner with different connections could be very valuable. If you're considering a specific partner, test your compatibility before committing. Work on small projects together. See how they handle these disagreements. Observe their work style, communication styles, and decision-making processes. Whether you choose solo or partnership, get proper legal advice. Solo founders need proper business structure and intellectual property protection. Partnerships need detailed founder agreements that covers equity, roles, decision-making, and exit scenarios. Remember, this decision is not permanent. You can start a solo business and bring in co-founders later, or start with a partner and buy them out eventually. But changes are easier to make early than after you've built something significant. After all the analysis, do a gut check. Which path feels most aligned with who you are and how you want to build your business? Your intuition matters in this decision. Whichever path you choose, commit fully. Don't spend your energy second-guessing your decision. Both paths can lead to success when executed with dedication and strategic thinking. Beautiful souls. There is no universal right about the answer, the solo versus the co-founder question. The right answer is what's right for you, your business, and your goals. What matters most isn't whether you choose solo or partnership, is that you choose consciously, with full awareness of the implications and with proper preparations for which area path you actually select. Solo founders succeed when they are self-aware about their strengths and their gaps, when they build strong networks of advisors and contractors, when they create systems that actually prevent burnout. Co-founder partnerships succeed when they are built on complementary skills, shared values, clear communication, and detailed legal agreements. Here's what I want you to do. Use the framework I shared today to assess your situation. If you're leaning towards partnership, identify what specific skills or resources you need in a co-founding situation. If you're leaning towards solo, identify what support systems you need to build. I'd love to hear about your decision-making process. Send me a message and tell me which path you're considering and why. If you're already making this decision, share what you have learned. Let's support each other in making these critical choices. Trust yourself to make the right decision for your unique situation. Then commit fully to that path and execute with excellence. Your business is waiting for you to stop debating and start building. Once again, thank you for listening. See you next week for another dose of truth, boldness, and transformation.